Welcome to Music with Mrs. Avery. Hi everyone. We are going to review our vocabulary and music symbols that we have been learning about over the past few lessons. And we are going to start with our main vocabulary word right here, rhythm. So I would like for you to say the definition of rhythm with me. Ready? Rhythm is the pattern of the beats. Great job. Let's try that again all together. And rhythm is the pattern of the beats. Fantastic. Remember, we are learning all about rhythm, and we are going to learn how to compose, count, and play rhythmic patterns. So let's start reviewing our music symbols. And in order for us to learn how to compose, count, and play a rhythmic pattern, we have to know what this music symbol is. If you remember what that is called, would you yell it out at me? That's right, this is our rhythm line, and this is where we will compose our rhythmic patterns. Great work. Now let's review our next symbol, and they look like this. They are those small, short, little vertical lines. Do you remember what they are called? Yell it out at me. That's right, bar lines. So these short lines are bar lines. Can we count together how many bar lines I have in our example up here? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Great job. Now, I have a question for you. Do you remember what it is called? This space between two bar lines? Do you remember what that's called? That's right, it's a measure. Now, can you look here and tell me how many measures there are in this example up here? Remember, it's the space between two bar lines. If you told me 2, you are correct. This is one measure, and this is another measure. In our last lesson, we started learning about time in music. And we learned about a symbol that looks like this. This is called our time signature. And do you remember what our time signature tells us? You have to use one of your other vocabulary words, your music symbols, in order to get the correct definition of a time signature. Do you remember what it tells us? That's right. The time signature tells us how many beats are in a measure. So we look at which number of the time signature to tell us that, the top or the bottom? The top. So in a 4/4 time signature, we would know that there will be 4 beats in a measure. So there would be 4 beats here between these two bar lines, and then there would be 4 beats between these two bar lines. Great job. Now, I would like to look at this note one more time. Do you remember what the name of this note is? That's right, a quarter note. Do you remember how many beats a quarter note gets? 1. Fantastic. So, if we have a rhythm line, and you'll notice I just drew 2 bar lines this time, so we just have 1 measure, and I am going to give us a 4/4 time signature. Do you remember how many quarter notes would fit in a 4/4 measure? 4 of them. That is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great job. And today, when we count these 4 beats, we have to make sure that we have beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, and beat 4. Since you told me there are 4 beats in the measure. So when we count them and write our counts in, it would look just like this. We will always start with beat 1, and we would have to end on beat 4 because we have 4 beats in the measure. Could I add another quarter note to this measure? No, because that would give us 5 beats, and we can only have 4 beats. Very good. Let's say I change this top number to a 3. Does this rhythmic pattern still fit in that measure? No. Why not? Yell it out at me. That's right, because this time signature tells us that there are only 3 beats in a measure. So we would only be able to have 3 beats in a measure, and we would count that 1, 2, 3. We are going to play a game now. For this game, I'm going to use my rhythm sticks, but I know that many of you do not have rhythm sticks around your house. So if you want to get maybe 2 wooden spoons, or you could get something that resembles a drum that you could tap on, or you could tap on a table. Or if you don't have anything around your house, or you are in a place where you do not have access to any objects, you can use your hands to clap or your hands to pat. So if you would like to get anything around your house or around from where you are at, go ahead and pause this video and go get those now. So for our game, I am going to play a 4-beat rhythmic pattern. And yes, I'm going to start with a 4-beat rhythmic pattern. We will change that. And it's going to be a very simple rhythmic pattern. And I will play it and I will count it out loud. And then you have to play it and count it out loud back at me. Now, at first, I will start with very simple rhythmic patterns. But as we keep learning and practicing, these rhythmic patterns in our game are going to get harder, more difficult. I will change how many beats, and I might change the tempo, make it faster or really slow. So those types of things will make it more difficult. But today we are just going to start out with some basic rhythms. So now that you are ready with your objects or you're using your hands, I'm going to start and play a 4-beat rhythmic pattern. I'm going to count it and then I want you to repeat it after me. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How did you do? Were you able to repeat each rhythmic pattern correctly after me? Great job. I am so proud of all of your hard work in learning our rhythm vocabulary, our music symbols, and now beginning to practice and play rhythmic patterns. Now I'd like you to go into the Music Google Classroom and you can mark this assignment complete. There is no work to turn in this week. Thank you for joining me.